Right, well, welcome back. In this video, we're going to get a bulkhead in. As you see now, and you've probably seen in the previous video maybe, that I've taken the metal bulkhead out from here. And the idea is that I'm going to insulate this because you can lose a huge amount of heat. There's no point putting all the insulation in here when I lose a lot of insulation through the single glazed windows at the front, and there's no insulation in any of this at the front. So I'm going to re-insulate this bulkhead, but I've also decided, based on your comments actually, and I've thought about this really carefully, I'm going to have a pass-through in the bulkhead. So I'm going to have a gap here that I can crawl through, and I should just be able to get through this. This seat goes down, so I should just be able to climb over. Probably won't be doing that all the time, but if it's raining or just emergency or something like that. But I thought, how can I do that and then not have an opening door on it? So what I've done is I've purchased a sliding track, and this is like a sliding track with a soft open and close. So the idea is that this is going to go in here, and yeah, should be simple. What can go wrong?
Why can't I just do simple maths? I've got a PhD.
That can't be right.
This is just the classic Nigel loses something in the garage.
Pretty good at that, aren't you? So I now have a sharp pencil that Rick just sharpened, and he's useful for something. So now I've got to just draw out, working out the cut lengths of the wooden structure I'm going to build, because I'm not going to make any mistakes with this. It's going to be spot on. I'm almost thinking that like this could almost be the top, because I'm going to have that bolted onto that, which seems dumb, but I could use a thinner piece of wood because this is going to provide strength. So if I cut that, I could put it all the way across.
So I got to work measuring up the various lengths of wood that I needed for the rail. I also had some minor issues with the table saw, which I quickly resolved, only for my lack of organisation to kick in again.
And help me tidy up. So basically, I've lost everything now.
This is just the classic Nigel loses something in the garage.
Where are my goggles? I shouldn't have tidied up. That's why you never tidy up. Well, they won't be in there.
I continued to search for the missing goggles. Meanwhile, in the van, Rick had spotted something hiding behind more mess.
I wondered why you were filming down there. Right, Rick found them. He's useful for something. I'm just going to chop this aluminium piece, and I've just marked on a point that's probably a little bit longer than I need. And then I've got this upright here, which I'm going to put maybe just a little bit in from the opening, so that when the door shuts, it goes into a gap and creates a better sort of seal for any air getting around. Because obviously that's could be a flow of cold or hot air around that door. I think what I'll also do as well is I'll probably put some like draft excluder things in that gap as well, so that when it goes into that gap, it just sort of goes through some sort of brushes or something to stop air going in. So I think with my wood blade on my saw, I can cut aluminium, but I'm not 100% sure. I think I'm just going to go for it. Right, quite nervous. How's about that? Hey, see, told you. This frame's going to be reasonably flimsy, but when it's fixed to the vehicle, I think it's going to be better. But I might have to put some like extra braces in it. I'll definitely have to put some extra braces in it. But first of all, I'm going to put some pocket holes just to connect this together. I could just screw in from the bottom, but I feel like pocket holes will do a pretty good job. So I'm just going to mark out where I'm going to do that. So I'm going to have one there, one there, one there, we've got, we need a top. We've only cut 5 bits of wood. One there, one there. So I'll just write on this. Middle, upright. So I need to put another bit through. I've done them all. Right, so I just need to put the pocket holes in now. I don't think I can do it. I've got to do it on the floor.
I then had yet another problem. The drill bit I was meant to be using was jammed. After some careful tool maintenance, I cracked on with the job in hand.
Maybe not, I don't know. Okay.
Using this really clever pocket hole clamp tool, which I definitely recommend getting if you're using pocket holes, I could hold the bits of wood together whilst I then screwed the pieces.
The old tidy thing always comes back to haunt me. Problem is that all I do is just move things from one place to another.
Surface, not storage. It's a good rule.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not a rule that I abide by, which is probably my main problem, isn't it? Yeah, if you look at my study, then
Surface is storage.
surface is main storage. What? What? Why can't I just cut things correctly? 1,540, and then I had to take off double that, which is 34. 34 is 78. No, 68. Why can't I just do simple maths? I've got a PhD. Oh. Right. Well, that's okay. We can use this for the other bits. It's pre-pocket holded for little bits. Right, so now what we need to do is we need to cut another bit, but it's the right size. So 68 minus 1,540 minus 68. Can you just pass the pencil? 1,540 minus 68. I'll do. And then these bits, I just have to put the bits of wood in here just to hold the plywood as it goes through. So the next thing now is, I suppose, just making a door probably. I need to put another brace in there, don't I? And then, so that's got to go, I suppose I can just mark it on now, can't I, where it's got to go? That's probably the best way of doing it. It's pretty light, which is good. It's the plywood that is the weight. Instructions. Who needs them? But you know, occasionally, what I've got to work out is when this goes in, how much space is there? Oh, there's loads of space. That's fine. Doesn't really matter this. I just need to waz some screws in at a random spot. So I put 5 screws in. What does it say? 4 millimeters. We shouldn't be doing it near the table saw when the switch is literally by my knee. Yeah, I'm just going to put the lock on that. There we go. Right, now I've got to figure out how the hell I'm going to get these screws in there. It's so important that this is in the middle, because if it isn't, the door isn't going to go in the middle either. I suppose I can got a little bit of leeway on the door, because I think that bit, I've got to put another one of those in here, and I put a screw. I'll just have to take the screw out, that'll be fine. What do I do with it? There's another little Where it go?
So what I then needed to do was put on the plywood frame, and I was really keen to get as much insulation as I could into this. So I'd left a 25mm space that allowed me to put this insulation in, which has got a really good R value, so it really is well insulating.
Right, so I'm making the door. Rick's just had a genius idea. We were talking about that wall and how I was going to paint that, because I think I'm going to have that like a sort of off-white colour, just painted like a normal house wall. And I was sort of questioning myself a little bit, and Rick said, why don't you make the door one of my photos, which would be so cool. So I'm thinking now I'll get an acrylic and put it the size of this door, and then have that acrylic on the door, and I can then basically make a sandwich of plywood, then insulation, and then acrylic on top like that, so that the thickness of it is the right thickness to go into the pocket and disappear. So I think that should work pretty well. Just got to make the door now, finish making the door. But yeah, I think that should work well. Right, let's just see if it fits on this. Should do. Like a glove. Would have been way easier to do it that way around. So I just need to put a groove in the underneath of the door, because there's a little thing that comes in here to help it sort of stay in place so it doesn't move out the door, and it also helps it to slide really good. So I'm just going to use my router. I've got a 12mm bit in there, and I'm just going to route out a groove in the bottom in the middle. And there's a little bit of play, but I don't think a lot. And to be honest, there's not going to be a lot of play in the wall anyway. And there's also going to be like feather things down the sides to stop it moving as well, like brushes. Okay, so I've got it in place, a door, and it seems to work pretty well. It's not fixed, the whole thing's not fixed in place, but basically slides, soft close, it slides shut like that, so that's pretty cool. What I've got is, I've got some of this. So this is, you can probably just see there, this is like really sort of draft exclusion strip, but it's really soft and it'll compress quite thin. And I'm going to put that, when I put the panel over here and down here, I'm going to put that in to stop this moving around like this, because I don't want it to vibrate when I'm driving. So what I'm going to do now is make this bit here. So this is going to be a door, but I just need to make the frame for this bit here. And also I'm going to have a special thing down here, which I'll talk about in a minute. Weight is really, really important in a camper van. So where I can, and there's not that many places, but there's a few places, I'm going to use this foam core plywood. It's way lighter. It's so much lighter than other plywood. It's effectively the same weight as 6mm plywood really, but it's got much more structural rigidity, and this foam core has got some insulating values as well. So I'm going to put this in the bulkhead to sort of maximize the amount of insulation that I get there. So I'm going to chop this now. This is going to be the cabin side of the bulkhead, which I'm also, on the top of this, I'm going to line it with carpet. Let's go. I've cut out this template because I wanted to check it's really difficult where this insulation is going to go in the bulkhead. So I've cut out this template that fits, and now I've just laid it out into here, and I'm going to cut out this. It hurts your mind trying to work out 3D shapes like this because there's so many different angles, but I think I've got it right. The other one on the other side is pretty much identical. I've just looked at some measurements, so I'm just going to do a mirror image. The only thing that's different is obviously the bevels I can't use the same bevel, so I've just got to be a bit careful about that when I cut it. And then this second sheet is going to be bigger because it's going to go along the bottom and top of where the opening is. A lot to think about. Should be okay, just need to draw around it really. So just draw around that.
Carefully, because this was pretty scary, cut away a little bit of the trim so that I could fit the wood a little bit tighter and it would look better when I eventually carpeted it on the cabin side.
Right, I've just got this in now. It's still needs fixing in properly, but it fits so well. I'll show you the inside. It's got to get lined obviously with carpet yet, but I am so pleased with the fit, and I've just put the door in, and this is going to be so good because it just works so well. In the next video, I'm going to get onto more bits in my van and building out more of it. But just let me tell you about something that is going to be super cool. Because under here, there's going to be a special tripod storage and somewhere for my shoes. I can't wait to show you that because it's so clever, so cool. I'm so excited about this. It's just working so well.